Christian and John's love for family and football is what being a Coug is all about. But there was a time that Christian may have never gotten the chance to play football with his dad ever again. The pandemic already has departments struggling to find workers. According to the U.S. Fire Administration, 78% of Washington fire departments are volunteer-based, and with a vaccine mandate looming, the struggle to find first responders could increase. I'm here in Lakewood at the last station that passenger train went through just before it derailed in 2017. Now, I spoke with an Amtrak representative who directed me to a website that laid out all the precautions Washington is taking to avoid a tragedy just like this one. And when that shot went down, his coaches and teammates went crazy. But for a majority of that game, all you could really hear was the crack of the net and the dribbling of a basketball. I spoke to KUGR's Aaron Monson to talk a little bit about what it's like calling a game with cardboard cutouts and empty stands. According to the Seattle Times, as of this moment, 2/3 of Washington state workers who are subject to Governor Jay Inslee's mandate have been vaccinated, leaving thousands of people who may lose their jobs this October.
Thanks, Dakota. I'm here in downtown Olympia by one of the many COVID-19 test centers that just might see an uptick in traffic. It was reported today that the first case of the COVID-19 variant Omicron has been confirmed in the United States. We've yet to see any major decisions made as the variant has reached the U.S., but there is some worry due to the high number of citizens traveling over this holiday season. Now, President Biden has made it clear that the variant will not be combated with shutdowns, but with a push for booster shots and vaccines. As of this moment, over 80% of Washington's population 12 and older have received the first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine, and close to 75% are fully vaccinated. The Biden administration has made some considerations to tighten international travel amid the growing concern, but there is yet to be any clear confirmation. Reporting live in Olympia, I'm Isaiah Sharp, Murrow News 8.
Railways are a major piece of Washington's transportation, but one accident froze train passenger travel for years.
Some guy came up to my car and he's like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "Well, here," and I showed him on my phone. I'm like, "It looks to me like there's a train, and I think this is what's happening."
Melinda was commuting to Olympia 4 years ago when a train derailed onto I-5, killing 3 passengers. But Amtrak is planning to resume travel once again over the Point Defiance bypass. I'm here in Lakewood at the last station that passenger train went through just before it derailed in 2017. Now, I spoke with an Amtrak representative who directed me to a website that laid out all the precautions Washington is taking to avoid a tragedy just like this one. Amtrak will now use positive train control that can automatically stop and slow down trains operating above permitted speeds. They have also implemented a safety management system and step-down speed restrictions to help combat any trains that are traveling faster than approved. I asked Melinda if she would ever take an Amtrak train after the derailment, and she says she has faith in the new safety protocols.
And I do enjoy taking the train. I've done it a few times to Portland. So I can't say that that day would stop me from doing it, because I feel like, they've taken the, like you said, you got to trust that it's not going to happen again.
Amtrak will resume travel over the bypass this November. Reporting in Lakewood, I'm Isaiah Sharp, Murrow News 8.
And he missed. Do you foul if you're Stanford?
Don't play it
Noah
out like
Williams.
that.
Noah Williams' three-pointer to send the Cougs to overtime and beat Stanford was one of the biggest shots of the men's basketball season. And when that shot went down, his coaches and teammates went crazy. But for a majority of that game, all you could really hear was the crack of the net and the dribbling of a basketball. I spoke to KUGR's Aaron Monson to talk a little bit about what it's like calling a game with cardboard cutouts and empty stands.
It's very different. And it's almost like sometimes it's kind of sad a little bit, just because, like, as a huge sports guy myself, like, you expect to walk into an arena with, like, people there, like, getting loud, rowdy, having a great time. And then you just walk in silence, and it's just weird. It's still weird to me.
And though the crowd is silent, commentators like Aaron continue to bring the energy. I also asked KUGR sports director Asher Line about crowd effect, and he says crowd energy does make an impact.
I try to not show that it affects what I'm doing there, because a crowd versus no crowd, complete difference. Like, you can feel the energy of everyone fans being in an arena is something that a lot of sports teams try to market and try to go off of, because everyone wants to have fans back in the arenas. I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you someone who doesn't want something like that. And so it definitely plays a difference.
Luckily, Phase 2 has just been implemented into Washington State. And with baseball season just around the corner, hopefully we'll get to see some Cougs back in the stands. In Pullman, Washington, I'm Isaiah Sharp, Murrah News 8.